It's time now for Real Estate Update. With Usha Chandra of GlobeNet Realty, real estate is our world.
Now we're standing here face to face.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to this segment where we talk about real estate. And there's still lots that's happening out in the real estate market. And with that, we'd like to welcome to the show Usha.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Mish.
And it is always so good to have you on the show. And of course, with so much happening out there in the market, one of the questions that people have always been asking is, there is a bit of a concern about, affordability. When we look at affordability, what the government's done, some of the policies that they have put in place makes it easier for some people to buy. But what does it do overall for the property industry?
Yes, definitely. Housing affordability is becoming an increasing concern for first home buyers and policymakers amid recent rapid price increases in housing values. But the double-edged sword of reducing housing values to make them more affordable is the housing also makes up the majority of Australian household wealth. Make housing more affordable for one Australian and we risk reducing the wealth for another. So that shows that affordability is really hard at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, so as you have mentioned that if you make it affordable for one, you risk losing the value overall of the market. So when we look at the parties, the ruling parties, of course we had seen previous governments make some policy decisions which didn't go very well. It's a very fine balancing act how they balance the equation to make it also a very viable industry where people can get their monies. And so what has the current government put in place that has probably been different from the previous governments?
Yes, in contrast to the Labour Party platform of reducing housing demand through the 2016 and 2018 elections, reducing or removing incentive for housing investors, the federal government have utilised a different approach to boosting the rate of home ownership. They focus on increasing accessibility of the mortgages rather than risking any downward pressure on residential property prices. The first home loan deposit scheme was an earlier example of this and amidst of at helping first home buyers over the deposit hurdle while protecting the value of homes. So you can see that the federal government has done that. The government boost regarding the home rates, and they want more owners to own the properties rather than renting.
Okay, so the equation has been that more affordability, make it more affordable for people, and that way it will be good. Well, I think next week we will see a new announcement that has just come out today. Is in the federal government's budget is a special scheme for single parent discounts. So, they will be eligible for softer loans and many other things which has come in place, which might be a very interesting topic to discuss next week with all our viewers. And it was interesting reading that today as well.
Absolutely. I mean, that will be a very interesting topic.
It will be an interesting topic, yes, because right now they have been looking at the family component as one. But, the reality, the fact of the matter is there are quite a lot of single parents out there as well. And so what about any incentive for them? So this is an incentive. I'm not saying that the government is encouraging people to be, in that kind of situation, being single parents. But if you are, and if you're struggling, there are ways where you qualify, making you qualify for the loan easier is what they are looking at there. Well, right now, let's move on and let's take a look at what's been happening in the auction scene this week.
Yes, auction result was pretty average this week. There was 1,207 auctions in Sydney and 1,302 auctions in Melbourne, 171 auctions in Brisbane, and Darwin was not applicable. 136 auctions in Adelaide, 28 in Perth, 87 in Canberra, and 3 in Tasmania. So that's all the auctions that happened last week.
Okay, so there's quite a lot of still happening. Brisbane only 171. Yes, I can see that because Brisbane is not leaning that way. It's never been, when you compare Melbourne and Sydney, especially in the auction scene, they've always been pro-auction as compared to us here. Well, right now, so those were the number of auctions. What did the results look like?
Yes, the clearance result was Sydney was 81.4%, which has gone down. The total number of auctions were 1,146, and the cleared auctions were only 931. And Melbourne was 74.1%, so it was down as well. 1,411 auctions were taken to the market to auction, the properties to auction, and cleared auction results was 1,408. The results, cleared auction, 1,044 were cleared auctions, 74.1%. Brisbane was 74.4%, which is higher than Melbourne compared to Melbourne's clearance rate. Total auctions were 197, and cleared auctions were 145. Adelaide was 77.2%, which was quite the highest actually compared to Sydney and Melbourne. Brisbane and Adelaide was quite high last week, and total auctions were 136 and 105 sold, and Perth was 44.4%, whereas 27 auctions were taken for sale, and only 12 auctions were sold under the hammer. Tasmania was no use talking about Tasmania, but Canberra was 87.6%, where it was down as well. It went up to 97% in Canberra last couple of weeks, and there were 97 properties were taken to auction, 85 sold under the hammer. So the average was 77.2% was the clearance result in the 5 capital cities, and then 3,116 auctions were taken, properties were taken to auction, and the cleared auctions was 2,324. So approximately 1,000 auctions, 685 were uncleared sales.
Well, if you look at 87.6% clearance rate in Canberra, that is pretty good. I'd say that's an above average clearance rate. When you look at the clearance rates, Brisbane and Melbourne on the same, about 74%, which is not too bad. Well, okay, so if you look, we have quite looked at that. So if you compare just briefly to last year, so how did we do as compared to last year? We've gone through the results, but just the last year figures.
So the looking at clearance rate, as I said, 81.6%, and the last year was 66.9% in Sydney. Melbourne was 77.6% this year, and 57.3% was last year. So it was just basically quite low as well. Brisbane was 73.3% this year, and last year was 37.5%. Adelaide was 78.5% this year, 61.5% last year. Perth was 60% this year, and 14.3% last year. Canberra was 87.8% this year, and last year was 65.8%. So you can see that the average was 79% this year, the total number of clearance auction, and then last year was 60%. 60.4%. So you can see the results. This year the market has gone skyrocketing. A lot of people are buying under the hammer. A lot of people are just bidding, and some of them are paying much higher money than what the property is worth. But they always say, whatever it's the property prices are decided by the buyers, because whatever it's worth to them, they'll pay.
They said a property is only worth what someone's prepared to pay for it.
Absolutely.
So that's what the market is doing at the moment, and that's quite a great results that you have there out. So it is quite indicative of what the market is doing. Well, if you look at what we've been talking about, that people have been paying good money. So what has the capital city home value been?
Capital City home values, the changes was Sydney was monthly change was 2.7% and the 12-month change was 9.3%. Melbourne was 0.5%. Was 1.5%, sorry, the monthly change, and the yearly change was 12-month change was 3.4%. Brisbane was 1.6% and the 12-month change was 9.2%. Adelaide was 1.8% and the 12-month change was 11%. Perth was 0.1% and the 12-month change was 7.4%. So combined 5 capital cities, the monthly change was 2% and the year 12-month change was 7.5%. So you can see the increase in the last 12 months. It has increased quite considerably.
It has, and any reason why Adelaide has gone up to 11%? That's quite a phenomenal growth. Where if you compare that to Melbourne, which is only 3.4.
Absolutely. I mean, it's demand and supply, and obviously the properties are not that many in supply, and people are paying really good money to buy the properties. So that it always says in properties demand and supply, and that's where the prices are.
Okay, so looking at all the prices that we've got, what about the listings? As we know that everyone says that industry is only as good as the number of listings there. So what's happening in the listing scene?
Capital city listings, the listings have gone up actually. Number of listings in Sydney was 8,149. So the 12-month change in listing was 98.9%. So the total number of listings to date was 20,758. It was still minus 3.4% in the 12-month change. Melbourne was 9,244 new listings, and the year-to-date listing is 27,436. So it has gone in the listings are really high in Melbourne, 14.4%. Brisbane, the new listings are 4,336. So the total listings for the year to date is 14,855. So minus 23.9%, almost minus 24%. So that shows that listings in Brisbane are not that high there.
No.
Actually, that's why we are all struggling, and the prices are skyrocketing. People are just bidding to buy the properties. Adelaide was 1,853 new listings, so the total 5,632 and still minus 18.7%. Perth was 4,232 new listings, 14,965 total listings and minus 7.9%. Hobart was 296 properties listed, new listings, and 749 total listings, and it was minus 28.5%. So it's higher than Brisbane. Darwin was 174 new listings, 717 total listings, minus 26.7%, and Canberra 603 listings and 1,632 new listings. Canberra is minus 24.6%. So 5 combined capital cities, the total new listings is 28,887, and total to date is 86,744 new listings, and still minus 6.1%. So the only capital city you can see there in the graph is only Melbourne. Yes. Melbourne has got lots of listings, but the sales are still not happening.
Yeah, and you quite rightfully said about Brisbane at minus 23 and Melbourne at plus 14.4. Wow, that's the other end of the spectrum there as well.
Yes, yeah.
Well, moving on. So, how does that equate into the sales? So, if we look at maybe just the houses and the apartment scenes to say what the sales have been like.
Okay, number of sales in Sydney was 1,663. The average price is 890,000. So the price has gone a little bit high. It was 885, now 890. And number of units was 1,209. And median price is 649,000. So 650,000 in median price in Sydney. Melbourne was 2,044 number of new sales. And 715,000 is the average price, has gone down there. And number of units in apartments 1,116 and 575 is the average price. So the price in apartments and units are still down in Melbourne. Brisbane is 1,036 new number of sales. 536,550 is their price, median price. Brisbane's price has gone a little bit down as well. Last week when we did the graph, it was 550 was the average price, and 356 units in apartments, 411,250 is the average price for apartments and units. Adelaide is 676 new number of sales, 506,000 is the median price, and 202 was apartments sold, and median price is 380,000. So in Adelaide the price has gone down as well. Perth is 910 new number of sales, and 510,000 is the average price. 354 is their number of apartments sold, and 410 is their median price. Hobart is 166 new sales, 620,000 is the average price. Average price in Hobart has gone a little bit higher as well. 52 apartments and units sold for 60,000 is the average price. Darwin is only 31 sales, 600,000 is their median price, which is much higher than Brisbane and Adelaide, and 9 number of apartments sold, 410 is the average price. Canberra is only 70 sales, 831,500 is their median price, and 168,000 apartments sold, and 497,000 is their median price in apartments. So for capital cities, 6,596 number of sales happened. Average price in the cities average price is 696,000, 3,466 apartments, and 550 is the average price. So you can always see the apartments is 50% down compared to houses. Houses are always in high demand. People want to buy houses. Not many people are investing in apartments and townhouses.
Yeah, interesting to note there that the sales figures are almost 50%. There's 6,500 houses sold as compared to apartments at 3,400. But when you look at the median price, the difference is there, but it's not that great. 679 as compared to 550.
Yeah.
So, when you look at the number of sales, then it's 50% there as well. Well, right now, let's take a look at what's been happening in and around your area without giving the address, maybe just the house sizes and the prices. These are the sales, if you could discuss some of the sales last week.
Last week the sales happened in Esplee, was 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 2 cars, and sold for 499,500. And Zilmere, there was an apartment that sold, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 car, 317,000. And Esplee again, apartment sold, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 cars, that was 506,000. And Esplee, another house sold, which was 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car, 500,000. Then excuse me, in Boondall, 1 house sold for 539. It was 4 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and 2 cars.
Okay, so that's quite good. I think it's a new thing that we've got now discuss is looking at some of the sales that are happening in the areas. and it is wonderful to see that happening as well. Well, right now, in conclusion, just trying to look at what's happening in your area. If you have any open houses that you'd like to discuss, any new listings that you'd like to discuss, and rentals.
Yes, we had a couple of open houses last week. Both of them have got contracts. I've got multiple offers on 2 of those properties, and this afternoon I've sold one of them for much higher than the listed price. Listed for 615, sold for 630,000. I've just closed the deal today. And the other one, I've got multiple offers coming on the property, 5 offers. The owners will decide and give me an answer hopefully tomorrow morning. We have got a couple of open houses this weekend. We have got one at Zilmere Road that's still available, and it will be open at 10 o'clock. And the other one we have got in Deegan, and that will be open at 11 o'clock this coming Saturday. Most of the houses are sold, so I haven't got too many open houses this coming Saturday. If anybody is thinking of listing the properties, I've got multiple buyers who are looking to buy in Bundul Tigam area, and so please contact us to list and sell through GlobeNet Realty. Rentals, we have got only 2 rentals available. One has just come, a new listing, a 2-story home in the College Green Estate, 4 bedrooms and a study, 2.5 bathrooms, double garage, and that's coming for rentals for $550 a week. And the other second rentals we have got in Fitzgibbon, completely refurbished home for $550 a week, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and 2 cars. So there are the listings and rentals we have got available, which are open this Saturday. So we haven't got too many properties to talk about this week, because we have already sold most of it.
Okay, so what we're talking about here is more the real estate market, all the updates. So, we've done well with the graphs, everything that you've presented. It is quite good to see. And of course, the number of sales and listings are always indicative of the market as well. They're indicative of agencies' performance is based upon what their profile in the area is and the service that they've been providing and all that. So you've done very well. That is wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another update of real estate with Usha Chandra, Director of GlobeNet Realty Bundul. Usha, once again, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
GlobeNet Realty. GlobeNet Realty has been the longest established, trusted and respected agency in its trade area. Usha Chandra, Director of GlobeNet Realty, provides honest and ethical service to her customers. If you are thinking of investing in Brisbane real estate market, or if you are seeking professional property management, then you should contact Usha Chandra today on landline 3865 4466 or mobile 0419 775 416. And for further updates, log on to our website www.globenetralty.com.au. GlobeNet Realty is your own local real estate agency. Situated at Shop 52281 Sandgate Road, Bundul. GlobeNet Realty. Real estate is our world.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's about all we have in this segment of Real Estate Update with Usha Chandra. Until next week, it's goodbye from this segment.